The Center for Health Education, broadly speaking, has a mission to extend world-class health education to a global network of health professionals, individuals, and communities, creating a more informed public and improving health outcomes, and to create learning experiences that offer essential health knowledge for working professionals and the general public. Portfolio around three main focus areas. First, we have courses that tackle the future of health and data science. We think a lot about how healthcare has changed and where it is going, and how we can upskill and prepare people to practice in a new ecosystem, whether you're already working in the industry or looking to start a new career in healthcare. The health landscape is constantly evolving, and we must shift to understand, for example, how new technology like AI and machine learning are influencing the space, how health informatics is advancing as we consider big data and its impact on how we process information and make decisions, or how new treatments and personalized medicine are options now with revolutionary fields like genomics and precision medicine. In this vertical, we currently have offerings in medical statistics, AI in healthcare, applications of machine learning in healthcare, digital health product development, clinical trials management, foundations and advanced courses in genetics and genomics, and telehealth. Second, portfolio. With an explosion of information on health and wellness out there, our main goal is to provide concrete learning experiences that are evidence-based and that can help advance health and wellness globally. In this portfolio, we have offerings in things like nutrition science that teach you to understand and apply evidence to a wide variety of nutrition scenarios that can help you understand the science behind things like addiction and recovery, high performance, child development, the role of positivity in wellness, and many other subjects that focus on overall how to keep our communities healthy. And third, we have our management and leading course portfolio. In this focus area, we help leaders strategize on how to advance their teams and skills to be effective and competitive in our current and future healthcare environments. We cover topics like overall leadership, diversity, equity, and inclusion in healthcare, management, and teaching. I hope this helps explain how we think about our overall portfolio. And next, I'll briefly review the various types of offerings and learning experiences. Through Stanford Online, we have learning experiences that fit various types of learning styles and needs, from free on-demand rapid learning all the way to online graduate certificates and master's degrees that apply the same time commitment and level of rigor as residential students here at Stanford. Starting here at the left, this visual helps clarify how we think of the continuum of learning and the differences in learning style, price point, certification, and time commitment. As we move up from the free rapid learning opportunities, we offer several courses that fall in the professional certificate stage. The second column, self-paced courses, typically involves one deep dive in a topic, for example, digital health product development or clinical trials, and is designed to be done on your own time and schedule. You will receive a record of completion that can be shared on LinkedIn or added to your resume. Because certain topics lend themselves better to peer learning, we do offer some scheduled cohort-based professional courses. Although these are still on demand, you must take the offering in a set schedule, for example, 6 weeks or 8 weeks, so that you can interact with peers as a group in discussion topics and have the added benefit of a learning facilitator guiding your journey. These experiences will earn you a certificate of completion. The last of our professional courses is for programs that typically consist of a minimum of 3 courses that cover not just one topic, but a more advanced learning and holistic series. For example, rather than taking a single course on digital health product development, you can take a full health innovation program that also covers how to test that product through clinical trials design and understand how the data can inform strategic product development. We currently have programs on medical statistics, genetics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and health innovation. Toward the right of the graphic, we cover both graduate certificates and online master's degrees, which again are the same courses that residential Stanford students take, but we make them available online for working professionals. These programs will earn you a Stanford transcript and do require an application to pursue. My colleague, Pax, will go more in depth with these graduate offerings later in the webinar. Now that we've shared a portfolio and the types of learning experiences we offer, I'd invite you to check out the link to the right of your screen that takes you to a visual that maps each of our topics to the type of offering we currently have. as a reminder, you can always get much more detail about each individual program by visiting online.stanford.edu. I'm going to pass it now to Jackie Peterson to review some of our featured programs more in depth with you. Off to you, Jackie.
Thank you, Arthi. As Arthi mentioned, we have many courses and programs offered through our health and medicine portfolio. Today, I'll be diving a little deeper into a select few of our professional programs offered through the Center for Health Education. The first of these is our genetics and genomics programs. Our genetics and genomics courses have been divided into two programs. The first is our Foundations of Genetics and Genomics program, which is designed to be beginner level and give you a foundational understanding of fundamental concepts in genetics and genomics. Taught by a group of both scientists and Stanford professors, this two-course program will prepare you to explore more advanced topics as you move forward in your journey and is highly recommended as a starting point if you don't already have a background in genetics. The second program, which is Advanced Topics in Genetics and Genomics, will introduce you to more in-depth topics such as stem cell therapeutics, CRISPR, gene therapy, genetic engineering and biotechnology, epigenetics and microbiomics, and more. Taught by Stanford professors and industry experts, this program will provide you with up-to-date information on cutting-edge research and technologies in the health and medicine industries. And this advanced program offers 8 courses that can be taken either individually, or you can enroll in our all-access program and complete at least 5 of the 8 courses to earn a certificate of achievement. And both programs are self-paced. You can begin at any time. Moving on to our next topic area, health innovation. We offer several courses to help you discover how health innovation can unlock the future of healthcare, driving transformative change in industry practices, patient care, and beyond. Our first course in digital health product development will teach you about the product development process, intellectual property rights, and how to avoid common quality and regulatory pitfalls. This course will cover needs finding, concept generation, and go-to-market, all within the digital health landscape. And our next course in this topic bucket, our clinical trials course, will cover frameworks and reporting methods to determine how to accurately collect, manage, and measure data. You'll gain the knowledge necessary to understand the components that go into running a successful clinical trial. This course is valuable for anyone in a patient-facing role looking to implement research into your professional career, or if you're seeking how to better communicate and collaborate with colleagues working in the labs. This course uses real-life examples and case studies to help you understand and apply the principles of clinical trial design, ensure diverse representative study populations, minimize bias, and ensure trial reliability and validity, and use effective data collection and management techniques. In our third course in this program, Demystifying Data, a modern approach to statistical understanding, will launch in August quarter. And this foundational statistics course provides a practical toolkit for professionals who apply, interpret, or engage with statistics and data-based evidence in their job or daily life. This course will incorporate example data sets from varied domains, including medicine, healthcare, business, government, education, social science, and psychology. This course will emphasize concepts and intuition over formulas and does not require any statistical programming, but you'll learn to peer under the hood of statistical claims, reports, and dashboards to ask critical questions. And all 3 of these courses can be taken individually or as an all-access program. They're all offered as open enrollment, meaning you can start at any time, and they're all self-paced. Our next topic bucket is our AI portfolio. And this begins with our beginner level program in AI in healthcare. This program is offered through the Center for Health Education on the Coursera platform, and it's available on a subscription basis. This program includes 5 courses, including Intro to Healthcare, Intro to Clinical Data, Fundamentals of Machine Learning for Healthcare, Evaluations of AI Applications in Healthcare, and AI in Healthcare Capstone, which will help you apply the knowledge that you've learned. These courses are taught by Stanford professors and industry experts. It's highly rated on the platform. It's also self-paced and can be completed on a course-by-course basis. It's a great place to begin your journey into AI in healthcare. But if you already have a background in AI, or you've taken the AI in healthcare program and you're looking to dive deeper into AI in healthcare topics, we are about to launch our new open enrollment self-paced applications of machine learning in medicine program. This program will be launching soon and includes 2 courses in data foundations in machine learning and medicine and model deployment, development, deployment, and considerations. And this program is taught by Professor Nigam Shah. It's based on content from his popular grad course in data science for medicine. You'll learn to work with healthcare data and how to use data to conduct research studies, differentiate between categories of research questions, and the study designs used to address them. You'll describe common healthcare data sources and their advantages and limitations relative to different research questions, extract and transform various kinds of clinical data to create analysis-ready data sets, and execute tasks involving data manipulation and analysis. You'll then apply your knowledge through hands-on programming assignments using R. You can take these 2 courses individually or as a program to earn a certificate of achievement as well. Again, we offer many more professional courses in health and wellness through our center. You're welcome to visit our website to check out more of our offerings, and feel free to reach out should you have any questions. I'll now pass it on to my colleague Pax to talk more about our graduate offerings. Pax?
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Arthi. And just a reminder, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the QA box right there. We'll answer a couple of them here aloud, and then we also have some of our colleagues joining who can answer directly if you have a specific question that is maybe about a course you took. So my name is Pax Haymeyer. I oversee the credit-bearing courses that are part of the Stanford Online portfolio. And so I'm going to give you what I'm going to talk a little bit about. I won't go in as much detail about the specific courses. I want to give you an overview of what that experience is like, who might be interested in these kinds of courses. Then I'll go in a little bit more detail about what we offer. And then finally, I'm going to end on just talking a little bit about how you would apply if you are interested. And I will just say it now. I'll say it again at the end. If you are interested, the enrollment for the fall quarter is open now and it'll close September 8th. There's a little link to the right of your screen where you can click to look at the whole portfolio, and that'll show you everything from the self-paced to the credit-bearing courses, and you can filter to just see one particular type if you're interested. All right. So what are the credit-bearing courses at Stanford Online? So this is your opportunity to take a class from Stanford. These are the same classes that are happening on campus, and we are extending them to online learners to make them available to working professionals or to people who just don't have time to pursue a course or graduate studies full time, or may not want to. Maybe you do have the time, but you don't want to at this point. It's a pretty unique opportunity, and I use that word extended, the on-campus course, to online students, but it's not an extension program. So you will earn a Stanford transcript, and you are responsible for doing the same assignments and the same work that the on-campus students are doing. You are doing the same things, and you're earning the same transcript. For the focus of this, I'm not going to talk about the master's degree. I'm going to talk about what we call our non-degree option program. So you're not admitted into Stanford, but you are earning a Stanford transcript. You're taking the same courses, and you're pursuing them as an online student. So what does that look like? Well, at core, you get a Stanford email, Stanford login credentials, and you then are following along with the rest of the students for whom much of the course material already is online. So you're going to submit the assignments. They're going to be distributed and submitted online, the course assignments. You're going to be participating in the same online forums and discussion areas where students are posting questions that are then answered by the faculty or the TAs. You will be joining office hours. You'll be joining, they'll have a certain number that are online office hours that you will be able to join over Zoom typically. The lectures are the one big difference where we are recording them in a classroom, and occasionally they're pre-recorded, and if they're pre-recorded for everybody, but for the most part, we're recording them live in the classroom. You can live stream it, but for most of our students, they're watching it after the fact because you're a working professional, you have a job from 9 to 5, or you're in New York, or you're in India, or you're in Europe, and you can't join a 1 p.m. Pacific time lecture. So you watch that recording. You are following the same deadline, so it's not like you can wait 10 weeks to watch that lecture recording. You're going to probably watch it fairly soon after. There may be limited opportunities to participate live in those lecture recordings. Usually it's just the recording is available. You can download it, watch it at your convenience, but basically, beyond that, you're doing the same work and doing the same things as the other students. You're joining those office hours. If you have project work, maybe you're connecting with the on-campus students and you're meeting over Zoom, you're meeting over Slack. or if you're local, maybe you're meeting in person to do that project work. You're joining the study groups just like the on-campus students. And to do your homework. You're doing the same things. Now, we do recognize that that is both an opportunity and a challenge. It's an opportunity because you're taking the same courses and you're held to the same standard, you're earning the same transcript. It is also a challenge. It is also a challenge because, of course, there are students who are sitting in the class who can walk up to the podium at the end and ask a question, and you are an online student. You don't have that flexibility, or you don't have that option. We do have things like regular orientations and a Slack channel just dedicated to online students that do help provide support to make sure that you can be successful in those classes as an online student. So that's kind of an overview of what that experience is like. So I'm seeing there's some good questions coming in, so I'll come back to those in a little bit. So that's kind of an overview of what that experience is like. So let me talk a little bit about who this might be for. What are the kinds of students we see who are interested in enrolling in these programs? So the typical student is one who is interested in graduate studies, who wants more rigor than maybe you can get from an online course, because they want to be able to ask a TA a question or go to an office hours, or they want to be kind of forced to do a problem set every week in order to really learn and master the material. And actually, let me pause here and say that we recognize that's also not for everybody. And for that reason, a lot of the graduate programs that we also have self-paced versions. So Jackie mentioned that Professor Shah, who teaches in our biomedical data science graduate program as a professor here, also has some self-paced online offerings that you can do. So maybe you're just interested in the material and you don't need all that other support. Great, you have that option too. Similarly, Kristen Sinani, who is one of the professors in the epidemiology program in our epidemiology graduate certificate, she also has online programs. You can enroll in that. You can do it at your own pace and really learn that material as it fits you. So we, as Arti said, we've built out a portfolio to give you a lot of different options and the kinds of learning experiences you can pursue. All right, so who is interested in this? Do we find is right for this kind of learning experience? So again, it's often people who are interested in graduate education, but maybe not quite yet interested or ready for a master's degree. And so the advantage of this program is that you do have some flexibility about when you take courses, how many courses you take, and which courses you take. So let me walk through that. If you are enrolled in a master's program, you have to take courses typically every single quarter, and you have to take a minimum number of units. If you're interested in taking a course as a non-degree student, you can apply any quarter that we offer a course you're interested in. If you're approved to take the course, you can take the course, and then you don't need to take a course the next quarter. So there are a lot of students who say, there are a lot of students who are just interested in a single course, but they want, again, that rigor of a graduate level course. And so this is something that's valuable to them. There may be other students who, again, are interested in maybe more than just a single course. Maybe they want to choose multiple courses, but they don't want to pursue a specific program of study. Well, this gives you that option. You can take a course in computer science. You can take a course in epidemiology. You can take a course in chemical engineering. You can kind of piece it together. As long as you're approved to take those courses, you can kind of piece together a learning experience that's right for you, or a curriculum that's right for you. Now, you can also pursue these graduate certificates, which are accredited and which you earn for 3 or 4 courses, sometimes 5. And so that's another direction you can go. And the last thing I'll say about kind of who it's for is also there are lots of students who are maybe interested in graduate school. Maybe they're even interested in a master's degree at Stanford. And so they want to try it out. So you take a course, and you see if it's right for you. And then if it is right for you, you apply to the master's degree. And even if you're interested in an online degree, it's all, it's the same application. You apply to the master's degree. And then if you're admitted, you can apply up to 18 units that you've completed as a non-degree student towards those master's degrees. And so it's a wonderful way, essentially, for you to test out your graduate education. And maybe to dig a little bit deeper, you can think of maybe right now you're coming to us and you are an epidemiologist or a healthcare specialist, and you've done a lot of work on sort of population data, but this AI stuff is all new for you. And you've done a lot of the self-paced things. You have a good understanding, but you really need something rigorous. And you need something more rigorous than you can find in other places. You're not just interested in the latest Python libraries that you use for machine learning. You're interested in understanding it at a very deep level. You're interested in being able to write the mathematical proofs for some of these ideas. You're interested really in understanding optimization or whatever all these, these different aspects of machine learning are. So that could be an example where you say, okay, I'm bringing that medical background. I'm going to take this class, this graduate level class in machine learning from Stanford, and I'm going to get a really deep understanding of that. On the other hand, maybe you're a computer scientist, you're a programmer, and you're working at a pharmaceutical company, and you have, you have a strong computational background, but you don't have a lot of background in the domain knowledge around medicine or around population health. And maybe in particular, you're interested in learning about clinical trials and how you work through clinical trials, what's required for them. And of course, you can read blog posts, you can read books, you can do all those kinds of things, but you want something that's a little bit more rigorous. Well, great, we have clinical trial classes. And maybe you're just someone who's interested in epidemiology. It's obviously been a very hot topic and you're interested in a graduate certificate. So maybe you want to take 3 or 4 courses and make a career shift into epidemiology from, say, nursing or something, an adjacent field. So those are examples of the kinds of students that we see who are interested in taking graduate level courses online from Stanford. So let me dig a little bit deeper into our core, actually, before I jump ahead. At a high level, so what we have in terms of the offerings that are available is within the School of Medicine, we have about 20 courses. We have 2 certificates, and I'm going to dig into those in a little bit. And we do have 1 master's degree that you could complete online, and that's in biomedical data science. Our full catalog is much bigger. We're primarily in the School of Engineering, so we have a lot of engineering courses in computer science, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, et cetera. We have about 30 certificates there, and we have 11 master's degrees. Not all of those can be completed fully online, but many of them can be completed either online or partly online. So let me dig into a little bit more detail about the specific School of Medicine program. So the first is epidemiology. And again, as I said, Kristen Sinani, who's a professor here, she also has self-paced offerings that you can take, but she's one of the professors within the epidemiology program. I won't go into too much depth about what epidemiology is, but it's kind of the cornerstone of population health as well as evidence-based medicine. And this particular certificate program is based around kind of the core requirements, the core requirements of the epidemiology master's degree at Stanford. And so you can see, this will update and change, each year as we're just launching our fall, so this will probably have some changes. But the required courses are around biostatistics, and clinical trial design, right, and clinical research methods. And you take those courses, you choose an elective. And again, they're feeling like these are some of the core requirements to give you a strong foundation in epidemiology. If you were interested in the master's degree after this, you could apply to the master's degree. It's not an online degree, but you would have something like 12 out of 45 units completed already if you did get into the master's degree, and you could apply them towards that master's degree if you were admitted. So that's epidemiology. The other program where we offer a graduate certificate, and we do have an online master's degree for, is biomedical data science. And so biomedical data science is kind of this merging of several disciplines, including biomedical informatics, computer science, biostatistics, and a lot of the recent advances in artificial intelligence. And biomedical data science takes that intersection and tries to apply it to a kind of a whole range of the entire, a whole range of data across the entire medical spectrum. So including things like medical imaging, electronic health records, tissue analysis, image analysis. So it's really applied to a whole broad range of data. And so you can think there's a lot of overlap between epidemiology and biomedical data science. I think data science is probably a bit more computationally heavy than epidemiology, and applies its methods to a broader range of topics potentially than epidemiology, but very similar. But there's a fair amount of overlap. So those are the 2 core sets of programs that we have in the School of Medicine that are available to learners who are interested in getting credit bearing, earning a transcript and potentially a graduate certificate, and maybe applying and being admitted to down the road a master's degree. So what is it? So maybe you've heard this and you say, I am interested potentially in pursuing one of these credit-bearing courses. As I mentioned, our fall enrollment is open right now, closes on September 8th. So you have about a month to make that decision. And again, this is another piece of what's flexible and nice about this. You can apply and enroll in a course any quarter that a course is offered. So right now, all you'd have to do is log on, go to Stanford Online, create an account, and fill out an application. The application is not nearly as intensive as something like applying to a master's degree. We don't need GRE scores or TOEFL scores. What we need is a short statement of purpose. We need your educational background. We will need official transcripts. We need some personal information like residency documents, your passport photo, those kinds of, or your passport page, not your photo, as well as your professional background. So once you submitted that application to us, you then go enroll in a course, and then we send that application out to the department. Now, every time you enroll in a course, we do send that application back to the department, the relevant department, to review. And they will look at it and they'll say, does this person meet our minimum requirements? Is this person meet the prerequisites for this particular course? And if you do, you know, all things considered, then they will approve you to take that course. The next time you see a course you want to take, we'll send that application back out to you, or back out to the department, the relevant department, as well as your Stanford transcript, so they can see how you've been doing in Stanford courses. And they'll review it again, and then they will approve on that kind of course-by-course basis. The general rule of thumb is if once you're approved and you're meeting the prerequisites, you need to get a B or better to continue taking classes through the non-degree program. But again, you can apply anytime. It's a much shorter application. And you can enroll any quarter where a course that you're interested in is offered. So maybe you go look at the offerings that are available now for the fall, and there's nothing there that strikes your fancy. You can take a look again in winter. You can take a look again in spring or in the summer and apply at those times. So I'm going to stop there. I think that's it for my my spiel about the credit-bearing programs. I see we have I see we have a couple questions here. So I'll address a few. Let me jump to this next one. A few that are related to the credit-bearing program. So let me just start with the question about which ones are the graduate level courses that will show up on a transcript. So you should, when you go, there's a link to your left that's a link to our courses, and it'll take you to our course catalog. You can then filter by credential, and one of them is an academic transcript. So I would filter by that, and that'll show you the courses that are available, maybe not for enrollment now, but are available in general for enrollment, and you will earn a Stanford transcript for them. I see this about customizing a program. We don't have, so, I did say you can kind of build a curriculum that matches what you are interested in at the graduate level. You can't build your own program, but you can just sort of take classes, and as long as you continue to be approved for those classes, that's okay. So again, you don't have to pursue a certificate. You don't have to pursue a particular program plan. You could take, machine learning from computer science, and then take clinical trials design from epidemiology, and then you could take biomedical data science from the biomedical data science program. Let's see here. Let's see with some other. I see a great question for the master's degree. I'm actually not sure what the time gap is for a course to be applied to the master's degree. It's probably, I'll have to look into that to get a more precise answer. In terms of earning the graduate certificates, you need to complete all the coursework within 2 to 3 years. And if you were be admitted into a master's degree, you'd have, as a part-time student, you'd have 3 to 5 years to complete the rest of the degree. The graduate courses are not, I'm not sure, I think you're referring to STAP for Stanford funds. The graduate courses, I don't believe, are STAP eligible. And they are, I saw there was a question about pricing. For graduate courses, there's a standard, the tuition, which is full tuition, is $1,514 per unit for the class. And the differences you saw quoted on those slides between the two programs is just one graduate certificate requires about 12 units, and another, I think, only requires 9 or 10. And so that's the difference in the cost of those graduate certificates. And it can vary depending on which courses you choose to take. So if you took 4 4-unit classes to satisfy the requirements for a graduate certificate, that would be 16 units that you'd be paying for. If you completed 4 3-unit, it'd be 12 units.
I think there was a question about earlier about AI in dentistry, and I just wanted to add my answer there, that we don't specifically have a program specific to dentistry and AI, but our AI in medicine or healthcare programs are meant to be kind of general across the healthcare and medicine space. So if you were looking to start off in AI in medicine, our program on Coursera would be a great place to start. If you already have some experience there and you're looking to dive deeper, again, our applications of AI in medicine would be a great program to follow up with, which we'll be launching soon. And although not specific to dentistry, again, the audience would be primarily a healthcare audience, so across the healthcare space.
Other questions? I do see something about the graduate courses. I did want to mention that one requirement is that you already have a conferred bachelor's degree. So if you have not completed your bachelor's degree, you'd have to wait in order to apply to take those courses. Let's see here. Other questions? And again, while we're waiting, I do want to emphasize that, if we, in fact, I want to come back to this slide, if that's okay, Jackie and Arthi, is, when we're thinking about our whole portfolio, we do recognize that not every learning experience is right for everyone. And so we have a lot of ways for you to address, a lot of learning experiences to kind of fit what your needs are, whether, you want something that's very rigorous. You want to follow one of these 10-week graduate level courses and work 10 to 15 hours a week, completing that course, versus say, I just got to do it at my own pace. I want to spend a couple weeks, a couple hours, kind of do it as I can. And that's more of what I'm interested in. So we have a lot of different options for you, depending on what is going to fit your work schedule, your lifestyle, your family schedule. Any other questions? I see. Great question about master's programs for the online master's programs. It is the same. It's the same application for them. I think in all cases, same application. You go through the same process. I would go to the department that you're interested in and see what their application process is. You would not apply through Stanford Online. So if you're interested in a non-degree program, you're kind of applying through Stanford Online, then we're sending it to the departments. But for master's degrees, you are applying directly to the departments. And it's pretty much the same program mission. And we do often get the question of, oh, I've done these non-degree programs. Is that going to get me into the master's degree, faster? There's no special pathway or shortcut from the non-degree program into a master's degree. As you can imagine, all of Stanford's master's degrees are highly competitive. That said, you're going to have, it is one other way to strengthen your application by showing that you can do well in graduate level courses. You do not need to do the graduate certificates before pursuing the master's degree. You can apply directly to the master's degree without pursuing the non-degree, the graduate certificate. Again, if you do some courses through the non-degree program, you could submit your Stanford transcript along with your other materials as part of your application. And you can apply up to 18 units that you've completed through that towards the program. The Biomedical Data Science has an excellent website. I would definitely I don't think we have a link out to it, but you can just Google it, or you can find one of those pages. Great question about STAP funding. I'm going to have to look into that. I don't know how you find out if the courses are STAP eligible. I mean, to some extent, I would reach out to your manager if you're at Stanford and you're interested in STAP eligibility. I'd reach out to them because sometimes that can be that can depend on the department or the manager.
I will say that our professional courses are STAP eligible. So if you're interested in any of those from the professional portfolio, those are actually all STAP eligible. So you're welcome to look through that portfolio.
And some of those, yeah.
Especially if you're looking to use your STAP funds before the end of the year, before they expire, you're welcome to look through that portfolio. They will all be STAP eligible. I do think there's
And
another question here, Pax. Where can I find the list of, I don't know if you addressed this, but where can I find the list of graduate level courses that will show up on a transcript from Stanford? Currently a BSN student wanting to look competitive for a DO application. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Great. Yeah, I would go as there's the link on your in your kind of interface. There's a link. It says I think it says the course, courses available. It's the top link in those kind of resources. I'd go to that link and then it'll take you to our catalog page. And right now it's filtered for all our medical education courses. If you want to filter it further by credential and just filter it by academic transcript, and that'll show you what's available for the transcript. And that's a place where you can kind of play around and see what's available. And I did, back to that stat fund, some of the professional programs are also eligible for a discount if you are staff, if you are Stanford staff. So if there are people here who are part of Stanford, you should definitely take a look at that. You can look at your cardinal sweeteners, I think is the place to go in Work-Life Office. I see a question about courses to do before the MS in Biomedical Data Science. I would take a look, again, the graduate certificate is probably going to give you a good idea of what they think are important parts of the biomedical data science program. The other thing you can do is look at the master's degree and look at its requirements and see what the core courses are, and you can pursue those as what you're doing online. And so then if, for instance, you were admitted and decided to take the program in person, you would already have some of the core requirements out of the way, and you could focus more on taking electives or other things that you're interested in as part of that master's degree. All right. These are great questions. I don't see, I hope we didn't miss any, but we really appreciate you being here today and for your participation. We hope to see you in one of our offerings again. In one of our offerings, we do have more webinars, more kind of free options like this. I encourage you to visit our YouTube channel as well, the Stanford Online YouTube channel, where we put lots of webinars and lecture materials up are available there. Arthi, Jackie, anything else you'd like to add?
Oh, that's great, Pax. Thank you. And thank you for all of the questions here. Let us know, too, if there is anything that we've missed. Feel free to reach out via email as well, and we'd be happy to follow up and answer any additional questions that you have after this webinar.
Thanks again. And as Arthi said at the beginning, if you had to jump off or you joined late, we will be sending out a recording so you can get the full event. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.